Following graduation, Chris did an MSc in entrepreneurship with us at the business school. I think the thing that I saw in Chris was not only the natural talent, the raw talent and the intellect, but also I think he was driven to help other people.
He was president of SIFE, which is the Students in Free Enterprise.
SIFE is a global organisation. It's currently active in 48 countries across the world, consisting of 15,000 volunteer students.
Its aim is really to help challenge young people to go out and create economic opportunity for other people.
He was leading projects, presenting at the national competition, and was part of a national championship winning SIFE team.
Never before had a SIFE team gone on to win again, but the Nottingham team went on to win again in 2006 with him as one of their leaders, and then he was one of the people that was responsible for making sure that team then won for another 2 years.
I was especially impressed by Chris's confidence, by his presentation skills at that young age.
You couldn't have found a better person to stand up and present with passion.
As part of the SIFE activities when Chris was president, in addition to local initiatives in Nottingham, they also set up what they call the Be-velop cooperative, which was in Ghana.
Up until that point, the organisation had been about doing local projects in the community. We never really pushed the boundaries. It had stayed within its comfort zone, doing schools projects, doing some good stuff, but not world-class eye-catching stuff. And Chris changed that.
If you look at what the average Ghanaian farmer looks like, he looks so miserable, he looks more confused, he looks so hopeless. But SIFE has been able to make them not just smile, but laugh, and laugh down to the bottom of their heart.
They actually worked with the Ghana SIFE team who had identified that there was a need in Ghana to introduce more ethical practices for beekeeping.
His father was a beekeeper. A little known fact is that Chris is actually allergic to bees, but it hasn't stopped him working with millions of other things. The hard work Chris had to do to start from scratch, I mean, he didn't know anyone in Ghana. You know, he had to build a contact base. The size of the task is just staggering, and the fact that he was able to pull together a residential course for people he never met in a place he'd never been, it's incredible stuff.
The training sessions were conducted, and since then he's demonstrated his support, and then at least once in a year. This time he has made it twice in 1 year.
As farmers in Ghana moved toward beekeeping to replace subsistence farming, Chris identified the need for a collective aspect to that development.
Because many people are there thinking that life is about the game of seesaw. Before they rise, they must let someone down. But with Christopher Skilton idea and his model is win-win situation, and we'll all be on the winning side.
They were actually able to triple the price of the honey that they were selling.
2 years later, 3,000 people have had their incomes tripled, a library being built, you know, old people had medicines and kids had schools to go to.
We were absolutely thrilled when in 2008 Chris was named the Socially Responsible Student of the Year in a national award, which was a fantastic achievement. But a mark of what Chris is about was that the money that he won from that award, he ploughed into developing the work that he's been doing subsequently in Ghana.
SADIES is a microcredit fund which Chris set up to help local entrepreneurs achieve their goals and their dreams in Ghana as well.
He's the one that at 5 AM in the morning is still kind of working on things.
Chris's opening line to me was, challenge the world, challenge others and challenge yourself, and that's exactly what he does.
He flings himself into everything he does.
He's become the most ambitious person I know around trying to help other people have the opportunities which he's had.
Long after the name Chris Skilton's been forgotten in Ghana, the stuff he did today, the stand he took, will be changing lives.
Really, SIFE have made us what we dream to be, and for that we can never repay them. They are moving mountains. They have done what Napoleon couldn't do. They have achieved. They have achieved. They have achieved. We are the result.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Skilton.
I find myself lost for words. As my long-suffering parents will tell you, that doesn't happen very often. I found out I was going to receive this award a couple of months ago, and I think I'd almost prepared myself for it, but seeing that film, I realised I'm not prepared at all. And I had a speech which I rehearsed while I was in a traffic jam this afternoon, and it's all left my head. But what I want to say is a lot of thank yous. First of all, thank you to everyone who's made this evening possible. Too many people to single out, but I've had a lot of contact with Joe Dunn, and thank you for all of your support. Also, thank you to everyone who's been involved in everything I've been able to do here, from my academic studies to the projects I've run in this country and abroad. I'm receiving an award this evening, but there truly are hundreds of people in this country and in Ghana who deserve as much and probably more credit than I do for anything that you've just heard about. I would also like to thank my family, some of whom are here this evening. My sister Hannah, my mother Sally, my father Steve, and my aunts Sangeeta and Hilary. You make it all possible, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. But this evening I'm not only here to collect an award, but I'd also like to take this as an opportunity to show my appreciation for the support that alumni of this university have provided, not only for myself, but also for so many other students, past and present. And I wonder if there's a photograph that should be in the roll that I'd just like to get up. As you heard, in 2009, I set up an organisation called CDs. We help people in Ghana set up their own businesses. We provide a range of services. We give them business training, and we also provide loans so they can get their businesses off the ground at heavily subsidised interest rates. And the idea is that any money we make from those loans, we then plough back into supporting more people. In our first year, we've been able to support 400 entrepreneurs. I'm proud to tell you we've enjoyed a 100% success rate. All 400 entrepreneurs have set up successful businesses, and so far every single entrepreneur has made every single loan repayment every month on time. And what this means is that on average the entrepreneurs we've worked with have seen their incomes double. That means they're providing more nutritious diets for their family. It means that they are sending their children to school, and it means they're accessing vital medical products like mosquito nets that can fight against diseases such as malaria. But so much of this would not have been possible without the generosity of the alumni from this university. In January of this year, I received a grant, or rather CDs received a grant of £17,500 to fund the development of our work. And without that, so much of this simply couldn't have happened. And as a result, I'd like to invite Mike McNamara, former Vice President of University Council and a member of the Alumni Laureate selection panel, to the stage, please. Good evening, Mike. Well, first of all, may I say thank you. What I'd like to do is make a presentation to you. The average income of the people we work with is between £50 and £100 a year. So while £17,500 is an awful lot of money in this country, in Ghana it really is a fortune. And in recognition of the contribution that the alumni of this university, and indeed everyone involved in this university, have been able to make to the Dagomba community, who are the tribe who I mainly work with, we would like to make Mike here an honorary chieftain of the Dagomba tribe. And so it's my pleasure to present you with this extremely practical garment, which will be featuring in several shows at London Fashion Week. And I'd just like to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
Now, I should just say that by accepting the smock, you have implicitly agreed to pay all of the taxes that befall a chief. On the plus side, you can now have up to 4 wives.
Only 4.
Only 4. I'll let you decide if that's a good thing or not. Finally, I'm sure I'm over my time, but I'd just like to say we've had a fantastic first year in CDs, but we have a waiting list of 1,000 people who we still need to help. If this has piqued anyone's interest and you'd like to get involved or support us in any way, I'd love to hear from you. And thank you once again. I'm blown away. Thank you. Good night.